You know, in science there are two different periods, pre-Einstein period and post-Einstein period. In pre-Einstein period, man was living in, the knowledge of man was confined to the macro world, from Newton up to Einstein. From Newton up to Einstein, the knowledge of man was limited to what is called macro world. That is big things. Those things which are measurable, which can be seen, which can be observed, which can be testified. So that is macro world. But after the split in atom, when atom exploded, then the knowledge of human being reached to micro world. Micro world. So previously, man's knowledge was confined to seen world. Seen world. Now man reached to the unseen world. This was the difference. So now, in pre-Einstein period, everything was measurable. At that time, reasoning was based on those things that were observable or measurable. So in logic, at that time, logic was based on direct argument. At that time, man was able to establish direct argument because everything was observable. Even light was observable. So according to Newtonian concept, light was a combination of tiny particles. That is called Corpus's theory of light. In the history of science, it is called Corpus's theory of light. But now this theory is discarded. No one believes in Corpus's theory of light. So when knowledge reached to micro world, then previous logic was discarded. Previous logic was discarded. Now they developed a new kind of logic that was based on inferential argument. Now it means that now, according to the present scientific stand, inferential argument is as valid as direct argument. Now the inferential argument is as valid as the direct argument. So what is the matter? The argument of believers was based on this formula. Where there is a design, there is a designer. There is called argument from design. So the traditional argument about the existence of God was based on that is called argument from design. It means that where there is a design, there is a designer. So this kind of argument was inferential argument. This kind of argument was an inferential argument. So this kind of argument was not acceptable to previous people. Previous people were believing that argument must be direct argument. It is this philosophy that is called logical positivism. So according to logical positivism, inferential argument was not valid. Inferential argument was not valid. But now, after the split of atom, everything changed. Now, according to Bertrand Russell, there are knowledge are of two categories: knowledge of things, knowledge of truth. So, as far as the knowledge of things is concerned, you can establish direct argument. But as far as the truth is concerned, you are compelled to use the inferential argument. So Bertrand Russell admits in his book Human Knowledge, Bertrand Russell and all other philosophers admit that now in post-Einstein era, inferential argument is as valid as direct argument. So when I said to that gentleman that the same argument, the same criterion which you have to prove anything else, so I referred that now we are living in post-scientific, now we are living in post-Einstein era. And now there is no way except to accept inferential argument as an valid argument. Otherwise, you cannot prove anything. For example, all the scientists believe in X-rays. X-rays. But what is X-rays? You cannot prove X-rays by direct argument. You are compelled to prove X-rays by inferential argument. So when I said this, I referred to the present situation. Now you cannot say. I meant that now the argument about God and the argument about electron are one and the same. About electron, you use inferential argument. About X-rays, you use inferential argument. About God, we prove the existence of God by inferential argument. You also prove the existence of electron by inferential argument. So there is no difference. So if you are right when you prove the existence of electron by inferential argument, we are also correct when we prove the existence of God by inferential argument. It was this background that made him speechless. So I think he was a sincere person. He was ready to surrender before reason. So he surrendered. So these three things are required. One is seeking spirit, second is sincerity, and third is readiness to surrender before reason. So only those people can find truth who have these three qualities, otherwise not. So if you are a truth seeker, if you want to find God, if you want to find truth, then you have to fulfill these three conditions. Otherwise, it is impossible to find the truth. There is no alternative to these conditions. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أجمعين.